Everybody, welcome back to Bayou Time. Harry McCullough here. Nicholls State University has a new executive director of their Coastal Center, and it's a very important and a great resource for our area to combine, fighting, battling what we're losing the coast every day, and having Nicholls part of that and higher education part of that is a big part and really important to our area. Let's meet her. Her name is Laci Melancon. How you doing, Laci?
Good. How are you?
Thank you so much. Let's get first of all talk a little bit about your background, where you're from, and how'd you end up at Nicholls.
Absolutely. So I am actually from Chauvin, Louisiana. I was born
There
and
you
raised
go.
down the bayou,
Yeah,
on the
you know
bayous,
the importance then.
tugboats,
Yeah.
boats, fishing boats. If it's water included, I was involved in it. So born and raised on the bayou. My higher education background is in psychology, surprisingly, but I use it every day. And I started quite a few years ago working in higher education at Fletcher Technical Community College, and then moved on to become the executive director for Casa of Terrebonne, and then worked in private business industry for several years at the Houma Terrebonne Airport. And then for the last few years have been working as the program director for a statewide program called the Coastal Technical Assistance Center. It's a collaboration between Louisiana Economic Development as well as the Coastal Protection and Restoration Authority. And basically, we were a free service provided to businesses in the state of Louisiana that wanted to get involved in coastal restoration and protection projects, to do the procurement process and get involved with that. So I've been in the coastal world for the last few years, but if you look at my lifetime growing up down the bayou, I've definitely been around it
Well,
for
that's
lots
what I was
of
about to
years.
say. So you've been working 2 days now.
Yes,
Two
2 days at
days, but
Nicholls
you've been
State
doing this all
University.
your life, because especially anybody from Chauvin has seen it. That Lake Boudreaux area used to be a lot of marsh, and now it's almost open water. So anybody that knows that area knows that's where the fight is. For coastal restoration, that kind of stuff. So let's talk about your job responsibilities and what will it be being the executive director of Coastal Center. What is the Coastal Center going to do at Nicholls?
So the Coastal Center is a collaboration between Nicholls State University as well as CPRA, and the intent is to bring scientific data specific to the Terrebonne and Atchafalaya basins, the Lafourche Delta, to bring partner agencies, governmental agencies, and everyone, including the scientists, to the table to address these coastal issues, and not only address the coastal issues, but come up with
Right,
solutions,
yeah, right.
applied research
Well,
that we can
right.
actually utilize to restore, preserve, and protect our coast. Another big component of that is to preserve the culture. As I mentioned, I was born and raised down here, so you know, having all four schools I attended as a kid now closed, and losing some of those cultural aspects of our community and some of the things that we grew up on that future generations won't get to experience. So part of what the Coastal Center will be here to do is get that research, and have that available for solutions in some of the coastal land loss we face, but also in preserving our culture in our communities.
Yeah, that's a big part, and we got to decide, right? Do we restore, retreat, that kind of stuff? You've heard that term for sure. We all know what's going on, though. I mean, we dammed off the Mississippi in the 50s, right, or 30s, I guess now, and so we are losing ground between the Mississippi River and Morgan City, where
Right.
where the Chafalaya goes out. We're going this way, but if we didn't have those, we'd also be flooding almost every year from the Mississippi as it found its way where it wanted to go. So that is one of those things you got to figure out. We'd all be on stilts here in Houma and
Exactly.
Thibodeau for sure, and Morgan City. So that's all part of it. So what are the plans now? What are you guys working on? Is there things coming down the pike that you are supplementing? Uh, what are y'all doing working on now?
So right now, the science and technology program, their research practices are in restorative planning, biological surveying, and data analysis, and then a component of that is that cultural preservation. What's coming down the pipeline is with the coastal center and with the three different areas within the facility. There's going to be a conference area, an education on operations area, and then a research lab area. So what we're hoping to do is collaborate with many partners, not just in the state, but outside of the state, to bring other scientists in to help us look at how to potentially address some of these solutions with coastal land loss here in South Louisiana. And in hopes to do that, putting together a database where we can share this research to other areas outside of Louisiana, to anyone else around the country who's facing these
Which is
same
a lot
issues.
of people now, right? A lot of people are
Absolutely.
starting to figure it out, and as we go, whether you believe in, global climate change and that kind of stuff, a lot of people are affected by it along the coast. And, I think coastlines move naturally anyway. They kind of tend to change. But yeah, that's research that can be used anywhere around the country, I imagine.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
so how old is the Coastal Center?
So the Coastal Center, the building itself, is actually under construction right now. The anticipated completion date is end of 2024, early 2025. The slab has been poured as of today. I got a picture of it, so that's exciting. It's actually exciting to be a part of this,
Yeah,
literally from
from
the
the ground up. Yeah.
foundation up. So to the existence of the Coastal Center, however, and the theory of it and the mission have been in effect kind of since 2019 is when the collaborative efforts first started happening, and all of they established a task force and came up with the building design and layout, made sure it aligned with the Nicholls master plan, and then made sure that it would accompany enough rooms and space to be able to get the job done.
Well, it's smart. Smart to be here and in place. It's also smart with the, culinary center, food. So Nicholls on the right track on a lot of different things. We'll take a break. More with Laci Melancon. We come back right here on Bayou Time.
Today's social media segment is brought to you by Alford and Associates for all of your insurance needs. CIS, Cardiovascular Institute of the South, the highest quality cardiovascular care available. Barker Honda, the Barker family tradition of quality.
Everybody, welcome back to the show. Harry McCullough here, the executive director of the Coastal Center at Nicholls State University, is Laci Melancon. She's here sharing a vision of what's to come as they're starting from the ground up. You said they just poured a slab today as the new center. And so if anybody knows where it's going to be on campus by the old athletic dorms, kind of where the old football fields were, football practice fields. So you're going to have a 40,000 square foot facility right there. So again, it's to attract and to nurture brain power to try and solve and create ways to save our coast. Right?
Absolutely. And not only attract other scientists, but establish industry partnerships. We have lots of companies and businesses, not just in the Houma-Thibodeau area, but in the southern region, that have great initiatives that they're looking to incorporate into the coastal world. So this is an opportunity to practice on those products and get research on those products so that we can have scientific data to support
What we're
products
doing,
that
right?
are homegrown
So we don't
companies are
stop every
building.
4 years and do something different, go to a different course. I know almost everything that happens with the coast, just about anything that deals with government money or that kind of stuff. You're always going to have somebody on both sides. So I guess that's part of the deal, is to have scientific fact to back up which way you go, right?
Absolutely. And also to support our local levee districts as well. That's a huge component in some of the research focus areas that we want to incorporate and implement, is partnerships with the local levee districts to look at addressing leaky levees, or how to how can we support the levees better? Are there things we can do better? And, it's having that research and evidence, because once you have the research and data, you can get funding to back those things up. So it's putting all of those things in place to essentially what we want to do is just have a massive collaborative effort by partner agencies, governmental agencies, levee districts, and industry, specifically industry, to support this coastal land loss crisis. Because ultimately, if we're saving our coast, we're helping our businesses as well in South Louisiana.
Without a doubt. Look, anybody that's dealt with flood maps and levies and taxes and insurance, this whole area is under attack right now from a lot of different sources. So yeah, it's good to have a resource like that. Crystal ball, what do you see in the future? Where are we headed as far as battling this coast?
Well, right now, Nicholls is already kind of a coastal powerhouse with regards to the research that's currently being done and just some of the partner organizations that are already on campus. We have the Center for Bayou Studies, we have the Forum Field and Research Centers out in Port Fourchon. We have BitNep is also on campus that we work closely with, Restore Retreat, a nonprofit organization, the Morganza Action Coalition, LA1 Coalition, and then the Coastal Technical Assistance Center. So just looking at the organizations and agencies that are already on campus, and then when you look at bringing a facility like the Coastal Center to fruition and having additional partner organizations and business and industry involvement, and like I said, local levy districts, governmental agencies, all having a place at the table and having a centralized location to do those things. Crystal ball for me is, will it get fixed overnight? No. But if not now, then when? If we have to take action now, it's critical for us to collaborate with our partner organizations and make sure that we have all hands on deck and that we are finding the solutions that's going to work best. And solutions that worked 20 or 30 years ago may not be best efforts now, and it's finding what those best efforts are and making sure that we're implementing those things.
Yeah, will all of those be under the same house? Literally, I mean, you said they got to come together. Would they literally be?
I
office
think
space
that
at those?
I think that some of those will be
Yeah.
housed in the Coastal Center. It's day 2, so I don't have all of those details just yet. But hopefully, we'll get some of that ironed out in the upcoming months, and as the building progresses in construction, and we can look at who will actually be occupying space.
You're right. And so it is, a time to attract grants, do research, those kind of things. We just had a catastrophe in 2010, I guess it was, with BPLs, but that provided a lot of seed money for a lot of these things to kind
Absolutely.
of grow up from and study from it. So is that part of what you guys are using? Or
So funding right now for the Coastal Center is coming from several different areas, and then we'll be looking to expand, whether through grant writing, fundraising, renting out lab space for researchers or scientists or industry to come in. Like I said, I think there's a lot of potential partnership opportunities as well in some of those funding areas. So right now, we've received many grants and donations. Those are all available on the Coastal Center website, all of the organizations that have donated money. We have a lot of grants in the pipeline right now that are in the application process. And then one of my initiatives will be to seek out other funding sources.
And you said right now it's not necessarily, you can't major in, in being the Coastal Center, right? But there's programs to provide the brain power for this.
Absolutely.
Coming down the road.
Currently, within the science and technology programs, there's a lot of research opportunities and programs within those. There's a geomatics program. I actually got to meet with a few students yesterday that have just recently graduated and done master's graduate level research specific to coastal restoration and protection issues. Nicholls is bringing on a engineering technology program in the future. It won't be only solely focused on coastal, but I think there will be coastal components, incorporated into the classes. So there's lots of opportunity, and I think with the right funding sources, there could eventually be more.
Good. And look, nobody could better do it than people that are living through it. So
Absolutely.
Congratulations on the new gig.
Thank you.
I know you got your work cut out for you.
Yes.
But great to hear what's going on in Thibodeau. Thanks a lot, Laci.
Thank you.
All right. We'll be right back with more Bayou Time right after this.